Good evening and welcome to another video by Rideshare UK, the channel that gets under the skin of Uber. Okay, in today's video we're going to be talking about, is it time for riders, not drivers, riders to be claiming compensation? And I want to bring you to a story, this one here, where this lady, she took Uber to court and she won actually. And she was awarded $1.1 million, which is nearly £800,000 in UK. So a lot of money, and she won by proving that Uber were guilty of refusing 14 times to pick her up because she had a disability and she also had a guide dog, and the drivers will not pick her up. Now, once they pick her up, she claimed that she was verbally abused, harassed, and once the drivers had them in the car, they would just moan and groan about her dog. Now, here's another one. This is a real pathetic one. One driver, look how bad this is. Now, he finished the job off early, just after doing a short distance, and because she's blind, he said to her, "You've arrived at your destination." How pathetic is that driver? You just can't make certain stories up. But that's, she claimed that, and obviously it must have happened because the court has, leaned her way. Now, the court found the Uber driver, guilty. And at the same time, Uber defended themselves by using the, century-old slogan that all workers are independent contractors. Would you believe that? They still can't get rid of that word. Right. So, as I said, she blamed Uber for losing a job, and that's basically because the drivers will not pick her up. Now, let me tell you something first. I want to, tell you where I stand in this. Firstly, you're a complete jerk. If you don't pick up these people. If this was to happen to you, a member of your family, and the driver discriminated against you or your family, you're not going to be happy, are you? So why should someone else having that disability, having that dog, be happy with that service? They shouldn't be. And let me also at the same time tell you about guide dogs. These are not your normal dogs. These are trained dogs which are very intelligent, and they are the eyes to the owner. So please do not disrespect these people or these dogs or their owners. Now, if Uber do find you guilty of what you have just done there, as I said, I'm 100% behind Uber. I don't blame them. You should be actually gone. There's no ifs and buts about it. But what I want to talk to you about is probably the next step down, where Uber needs to be a bit more careful, because this kind of case will open a floodgate for the compensation generation just waiting to claim off Uber. And Uber has been warned a lot of times about this, and you know who's warned them, don't you? Yes, it's you who have warned them, right? Yes, it is you. How many times have drivers been accused of false claims when Uber rang you up and said, this rider saying you've been dangerously driving, saying there's no chance, or I wasn't dangerously driving. She was on the mobile phone. I had to really, swerve to one side to avoid the accident. That's not dangerous driving. But you know what I'm saying. And some of these are resulting in drivers losing their job. Yeah, drivers have lost their jobs because someone falsely claimed some of these, more serious claims. And you get them all the time. dangerous driving, wrong attitude. There's hundreds of them actually. And what response does Uber give to their riders? Oh, we're sorry about this. We're going to give you a £10 Amazon voucher, not a free ride. But what about the driver's side? These drivers are marked against on their file, and if any of these same claims were made, they were off the platform. So as I said, also, look, let me just make it clear. If these claims are proven, and this is where Uber lacks the actual integrity, if they are proven right that the driver has been driving dangerously or has been doing overcharging or whatever, or taking, well, they can't overcharge. They need to be off the platform. There's no doubt about it. But there is a underbelly population where Uber is creating without realizing, and Uber needs to root them out really fast before it's too late. Otherwise, the claims like the one I've just mentioned are just a tip of the iceberg. They need to weed out these serial complainers. Obviously, as I said, I keep going to say this, if it's a serious complaint, by all means, but there's a population called serial complainers, and Uber needs to keep a record of every complaint these individuals make against a rider, and they need to be setting a limit to them, and once the rider makes certain amounts of complaint, they are deactivated. Uber needs to turn around and say, look, we can't help you anymore because there's too many times you're saying this. And they need to cut the growth before it actually destroys them. The customer is always right is a myth. Uber has shareholders they need to answer to now, so they need to act appropriately and predict future circumstances which will cost the company financially. So they need to be very, very careful about these serial complainers. They need to do something seriously quick, and because nor does it damage the reputation of Uber, but it also puts the driver's livelihood under pressure as well. Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you later on. Bye bye now.